My name is Jen Cushman. I'm an empathic intuitive and I'm an energy practitioner. I am also a master practitioner in neurolinguistic programming, mental emotional release, and hypnotherapy. I'm also a mixed media artist and an instructor, and I am the founder of Soul Stirring Retreats. Okay. My topic today for this Magic Mondays, August 5th, 2024, Love and Learn, is 3 truthful reminders about what is important in life. 3 truthful reminders about what is important in life. Now, the format is I'm going to give a little bit of instruction. I'm going to do a little bit of teaching. Then we are going to transition into the card pulls. And I will do a universal card pull first to Hitomi, and then Hitomi will give me some names. And those of you who have put your names in the hat for today, you guys can be in there for potential being called for a mini reading today. And I will be using my deck that I created, the Joyful Deck for Creatives, Healers, and Feelers, which is available on my website at soulstarmagic.com. Okay, here we go. So 3 truthful reminders about what's really important in life. Here's number 1. And you guys, we all know this, okay? This is really, really, really big picture. In NLP, we call it chunked up. It's super big picture, but it is worth a reminder every now and then. And it's an important reminder, okay? And the reminder is that the human lifespan is relatively short. It's relatively short, you guys. I mean, if we're fortunate, really, really fortunate, we get 100 years, and you know that whenever anybody lives to over 100 years, then, lives to over 100 years, it makes the news because they're centenarians. And that is a big deal in our society is how do you live to 100? What is your secret? Most people, 80s, 90s, my parents passed away at 82 and 84. That tends to be the lifespan. So when you look at it and you really look at where you are in your life, it's important to understand that this human life of yours has a relatively short lifespan. And then the other part about it is that you have been given this one extreme honor of living as you in this time and space reality. There is literally nobody like you. There is nobody who will ever be like you. There is one you. You are as beautiful and radiant and unique as your fingerprint. Your unique frequency and your unique energy is yours and yours alone. Now, we talk a lot about past lives. I believe in past lives. I do past life regression, hypnotherapy in that area. And I know that I have had probably millions of past life. Actually, I thought it was in the hundreds of thousands. And my Kumu, my mentor, told me that I've had millions of past lives. Now, how do you explain millions of past lives? That was my question to him. And we started having some conversations about the multiverse. So I'm not going to talk about that today. That is major quantum out there. Leave it for a different discussion. Okay. And I believe in past lives. I do past life regressions. I have seen the benefits of knowing what your past lives are and the karmic implications that you bring into this life when you know what your past lives are about. That being said, you have one wild and precious life. I have one wild and precious life. So the number one thing that bears repeating is that the days are ticking, okay? Every day that we get a chance to live the beautiful human that we are, when we go to bed that night, that's a day down in the books. That is a day gone in our human lifespan. So at the end of the day, it behooves you to take a look at self-reflection and say, how did I live my life today? Did I live it well? Did I live it towards my purpose? Was I in my stuff? Was it joyful? Did I let the outside world influence me? How did I do today? It's really cool that at the end of the day, if you can take your temperature and just ask yourself, okay, another day in the books, how did I do today? How well did I do? Okay. Okay. So that's the number one. That's the number one I think I want you to know, the truthful reminders about what's really important in life. Okay. Number 2 on my thing today is that And this is a hard one, okay? I'm going to say it very simply and very easily. And I want you to know, you guys, it took me 50 years of my life, 50 years to start to even have a little bit of mastery in this one. 50 years, okay? So here it is. Here's my number two tip for today, which is do your best not to please others or need outside validation for who you are. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It's so important. Do your very best not to please others or need outside validation for who you are. Now, is it nice to please the people you love? Heck yes. I'm not saying walk around the world like an asshole. That is not what I'm saying. Okay, you guys know that I think kindness is really, really hot, right? Kindness to me is a major turn on. And I don't mean like, that kind of turn on. I mean like a lights me on, turns me on. I love kindness and compassion. I love to do things that please the people I love. And if you're doing it through your baggage, you're not really pleasing anybody. Okay. So do your very best to not please others or need outside validation from other people. What that means is to do the inside work so that you are inside validated, you are inwardly validated. Now, you guys, I found this great quote from Jerry Seinfeld. He's funny. This one isn't such a funny quote, but it's very, very real. So I want to read you Jerry Seinfeld's quote because I love it. Okay. He says, everything that you're worried about is going to be gone like that. The people criticizing you, they're going to be gone. You're going to be gone. All of this hand wringing, this worry, this concern, how are people viewing me? What, someone said something bad about me. I can't believe they said that about me. All the things that you get so upset about is wasted time and energy, right? Let that one land. All those things that you think about or worry about when somebody criticized you, somebody judged you, somebody even, and it's really particularly hard when it's loved ones, right? When it's your spouse, your partner, your children, grown children, your best friends, the people who you love the most. It is really, really hard when they're the ones criticizing you, okay? But remember, we go back to earlier teachings of projection is, perception is projected, which means a lot of stuff that they are putting on you is their stuff and they're projecting it on you. Okay. So that thing, all that hand wringing, all that stuff, that is just wasted time and energy. And if the end of the day, when you're checking off the list and saying, how did I do today? And you realize that you spent the entire day in your stuff, worrying about what somebody else is doing, worrying about what somebody else thinks about you, worrying about what somebody else said about you, worrying about the judgment or the trolls online or the garbage that's out there. Did you really spend a good day of your wild and precious life? How well did you do? Take your temperature and take it honestly, okay? And if you are anything like me, who I used to be, who was a consummate people pleaser, did not learn boundaries in my life, put everybody before me, was the empath that everybody dumped on, was everybody's unpaid therapist, right? Allowed me to be in codependency with people because, oh my gosh, they need me. What are they going to do without me? All that stuff. I look back at it now and I'm like, man, I really wasted some hours and some days of my life. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I simply really make a conscious choice to do everything I can. And one of the ways I stay available to myself and the way I stay truthful to myself is taking that temperature for myself at the end of the night. How did I do today? How did I use my one wild and precious life as Jen Cushman? Okay. So now we're just going to get to number 3, which is really an awesome one. I love this one. This is a major one that I started, I would say 48, 49 kind of thing around there. And really, really, really came apparent to me when COVID hit. And you've heard me talk about when I opened Soul Star Magic, my guides and my angels, my team, they kept singing over and over and over again to my clients, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. My angels were singing the Spice Girls incessantly. And it is a theme that has continued to stay with a lot of the work that I do. So number 3 is focus on what you want. Okay. Focus on what you want. So I'm going to be really truthful with you right now. If you know anybody who is an astrologer, if you know anybody who does anything about planetary alignments, they are going to tell you that we are in an unprecedented time in history right now. What is going on, the way our planets are aligning, the way things are squaring and the trines, and I don't even understand that stuff, you guys. Denise Stargazer, my friend, she's amazing at that stuff. She can rattle it off. If you really want to know those things, follow her social media. Okay, Denise Stargazer. She's one of the people I follow for planetary information. I also follow a woman called Elizabeth Peru out of Australia. And she doesn't do it in the typical way. She's more intuitive and does talk about the way planetary things are going on. And I'm here to tell you that the world out there, the planets out there, the solar flares, solar maximum, and 8-year, all of these things are all lining up to where 2024 is very intense. Okay. In America, you add the elections, you add stuff. Everywhere I turn, my business has really picked up lately. Okay. Also, I've been home. So to be fair, I'm not traveling. So people are getting back with me again because I'm actually home. And my business has really picked up lately. And one of the things that's happening, not just in my business, not just in my readings, but in my life amongst my friends and other people I know, they are going off like popcorn, right? It is like bing, 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 right? How many of you have people in your life who are just going off like popcorn, right? It's like their stuff is coming to the surface and they're either not seeing it, not wanting to see it, not in touch with their unconscious mind, wanting to be in victim mode, don't want to be at cause. Like there's a million reasons for it happening. And you, as a sensitive and an empath, you can just see it popping off all around you like popcorn. Okay. Now, as a sensitive, as an empath, you can feel all of that. And when you feel that, there can be times that you may not even want to get out of bed. You may just want to put the covers over your head and be like, I can't life today. I can't do it. I just can't adult today. Right. I have those times. So, and what I find that when I focus on me, I focus on what I want. I focus on my top values. I focus on joy, creativity, freedom, love, happiness, learning, all of those things. When I focus on those things that make me me and are high vibrational, then I am able to stay calm, centered, and grounded no matter how much popcorn is popping off over me. So that's one of the things I want you to know, that these are intense energies and that, you're seeing people around you getting triggered. And this can be incredibly hard when the people who are popping off like popcorn around you are the people who you love. And they are living that experience right now. So let me look this. Oh, yeah. So one of the things I say here in my notes that I have is, just like you might need to be mindful about what and how much media you consume, you may also need to set better boundaries with these people that you love who are struggling. And it's hard. It's hard to set boundaries with people that you love. It's really hard to set boundaries with adult children. It's hard to set boundaries with spouses sometimes. It's really hard to set boundaries with best friends. People get their feelings hurt when you set boundaries. And if you can learn to set boundaries with love and compassion, and it's about you and not them, you can reduce the amount of hurt that they feel. It's just you. A boundary is really you stating, this is what I need. And as a sensitive, you may have to place more firmer boundaries because you may need more quiet time. You may need more space. You may need less noise. You may need to go to less locations. You may not be able to run 7 errands in a morning with your spouse. You may only be able to do 3. And you may have to set a boundary that says, okay, I'm going to run these 3 with you, and then you're going to have to run those 3 by yourself. Okay? It's just the way it is. So that's what boundaries are. So one of the things that you can do, this is a how, because I love to give you guys how, and this is what I do with this, is that I focus on what I want, and then I create a routine. I have a routine. I have a daily practice. I have a routine. And then I share my schedule with the people whom are most important to me. Okay. So my people know that I swim. Now, I used to swim Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I don't swim Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays anymore because it was making Mondays too rushed. And I felt like I wasn't able to give you guys the full range of me that I needed to. So, I swim Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays now. Those are my times. My clients on the East Coast know that I take morning time. I need an incredible amount of morning time. I wake up at, 6 o'clock, and then I take an hour to myself in the morning to do what I need to do. And then, and then I get going. So that's really what happens. So I share my schedule with the people I love. And the other thing I do is that I write my mission. I have my mission statement. I've written my mission statement down, and I also have my top 5 values down. So at the end of the day, when I'm saying, how did I do? Did I live my wild and precious life well today? Did I focus on what I want? Did I get pulled into somebody else's drama? How did I handle it? I also remind myself, what are my top 5 values and what is my mission? And I'm telling you, those things allow me to say no a lot more than I can. And it's always a no, thank you. No, thank you. I can't do that right now. Oh my gosh, that party sounds so much fun. I would love to do that with you. And I just don't have the bandwidth right now. And I don't have the time in my schedule because I've got these things that I need to do. I love you. I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait to see you just rock it. You know what I mean? You're going to be amazing. And please let me know how it went. Like those kinds of words, those kind of language for it. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Yeah. So let me just read this again. It says, I let them know that you really care about them, and that you are also doing this new thing where you are doing your best to carve out time in your week to put yourself first. Tell them you would love to set up a weekly chat with them at a certain time or date, or that if they call you, that you will get back to them as soon as possible. Okay. So, and then if you're in the middle of your time and it is your time and they call, you got to let it go to voicemail. You got to train them, because if you keep training your people that you are always available for their crisis, then guess what? You are always going to be available for their crisis. And I don't know if you guys know people like this, but if you do, I would love to have the hearts or something. Are there people that are always in firefighting mode? Are they just every single day living in crisis? And then are you, because you're a sensitive, you're an empath, are you their go-to person when they have crisis? And then because you love them, do you allow yourself to be the person that they dump on? Right? And then do you feel like crap when you get off the phone with them? If it's yes, I'm telling you, my friends, you need to do something different if you want to have a different experience. Okay? So that's just the truth. Okay. So then let me see if there's anything else I did. When I did that, I was telling you guys before that I do have a document that I created where I have my mission statement. I have my top 5 values. I have my priorities written down. I write down how much they require, why they're important to me. I have my daily practice on it, schedule it. And here's what I want to tell you guys. Now, because of these changes that I've made in my life is very, very, very focused on good days. Now, you guys, I have human days, right? I have days where I fall apart. I have days where, that I am in my humanness more than I am working with the unseen realms. Okay. And I work with the unseen realms quite a bit every single day. And particularly when I'm doing my one-on-one practices and the days I have those, I'm spending a lot of time with the unseen, with my guides, angels, and a spiritual practice. Okay. But what I want to tell you is that because of me handling my humanness this way, my structure, and really knowing what is important to me and what my priorities are, I live a very focused life these days but I actually live a very calm, peaceful, centered, and joyful life. Joy is one of my top priorities. It's one of my top values. And so I live joyfully, even though a lot of things in the world is crap right now. And it's just crap. And so, you know, there's strategies to make sure that I bubble up away from the crap. And I do those things. Okay. So that's it. That is my love and learn topic today. I hope you found this useful, and I hope that you got some good life hacks out of it. Okay, that's always my goal. My goal is to just talk about things that are important to me, hoping that if they're important to me, that they're important to you, and then always give you, you know, identify what it is, tell you why it's important, and then give you some how that you can, some strategies that you can use potentially in your own life. And then, like everything else, make sure that you take what resonates and you just throw away the rest. Okay. So I'm just one of many human spiritual teachers. I'm one of many mystics. I'm one of many mystics out there, and I'm doing the best job I can to share the information that I have acquired and the things that I want to share. Okay. Okay. I love that. Oh, and then I want to read you guys the other thing. I just want to tell you, this so goes with my Hay House calendar today. You know, I have my daily affirmation calendar from Hay House that I buy every single year. And then I use these for collage and these affirmations, and I give them to people. So today's affirmation for Monday, August 5th is, I cannot change another person. I let others be who they are, and I simply love who I am. So my challenge for you this week, if you choose, remember, it's always like Mission Impossible, dun, 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 dun. The Mission Impossible song is going off in my head right now, and I can see Tom Cruise hanging from a string somewhere at the top of a ladder. My Mission Impossible theme song and everything for you, challenge for you today is, you know, this week, and I'm going to get to it. It's a high intensity week. This very high intensity week, can you simply love who you are? Can you simply love who you are? Okay, great.